Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the show. My name is Eric Mitchell. I am one of your hosts. This is Starlight Beacon Transmissions, episode 62. Yes, once again, between podcasts. Hey, Zach. Between podcasts, well, audio podcasts and visual, we've done 62 of these. Can you believe it, Lavender?
Crazy. Well, I haven't been around for all 62, so
No.
I'm not feeling the burnout.
Not yet, anyway.
Not yet.
No, we'll get you for another 62, and we'll get you there. Um, no, joining me as always is my good friend, my co-pilot on this Millennium Falcon.
Co-pilot.
Yes, the Affy Hollow to my Leox Giassi. I guess you
Yeah.
could say that.
But what no, I want to be the geode, so I'll navigate.
Okay, you can be the Geode to my Leox.
Geode's the best.
Geode is the best. Mr. Steal Your Girl himself, Geode. Yeah.
Yep.
Um, read the High Republic, people. Just read it.
How
Um,
long until October? How old is Geode? Are we going to get a Geode cameo in phase 2?
I need a Geode cameo in Phase 2.
He's ageless.
Oh, yeah. I want to see, like, Geode's entire family in Phase 2.
Oh,
Like,
but if but if
my,
Geode's family isn't around in phase 1 and it's a prequel, does that mean Geode's family has died or has he like abandoned them?
I'm thinking it's gonna be like a Lion King 1.5 type thing where like Timon went off with Pumbaa.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's one of those type things. So
Okay.
so like I'm holding out hope. Holding
They
out
just
hope.
he went on his own side adventure.
Yeah. I
Okay.
don't think they'll do our boy that bad. Um,
You
well,
never know.
yeah. Um, my my wife just said it's all about rocks, quoting My Little Pony. Um,
Oh,
yeah. A good old Maud Pie. Um, anyway, we're already off the rails, and this is our introduction. Um,
yep.
so tonight, we have quite a bit to talk about. We are going to be talking about Celebration Europe tickets going on sale and the lack of us not buying them. The christening of the Disney Wish and the opening of the Hyperspace Lounge on board, and we're going to talk about a certain beverage. And we're also going to talk a couple of other non Star Wars things. And then our main topic of the night, we are going to dive deeper into Obi-Wan Kenobi, especially those last two episodes of the show. So
There was so much happening.
there really was. And like last week, like we had to have the conversation that we had last week.
Yeah.
Um, and then, of
And then of
course,
course,
yeah,
I was gonna say, like when we got to Kenobi, it was like, this fun thing happened, and this fun thing happened, and like we didn't even like go into like the meat of like the Anakin and Obi-Wan fight and
no,
like just how intense and traumatic that was. So
no,
yeah, there's plenty more to dissect.
yeah, there is. And I have a feeling this will be a show that we dissect for a while.
I
Yeah,
agree on that.
yeah. And it's a show that we're going to keep coming back to.
I think it's gonna be one of those ones that you do like a annual rewatch kind of situation,
Hmm. I agree. I am
or
all
like
for
fit
that.
it into my trilogy watching.
I mean, it's really funny because like now you have all these trilogies to watch because like you have the prequel trilogy, right? And
Hmm.
then you have the Dark Times trilogy that you could say is Bad Batch, Solo, Kenobi.
Yeah,
Actually, you could call that a quadrilogy because you have
because we got
Rebels.
Rebels
Hmm.
and Rogue One.
Okay, so a
It's
pentology.
just it's all the bad things happening.
Yeah. So you have like that whole Dark Times era.
Mhm.
Then you have your original trilogy. Then you have your New Republic era with the Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett. And then you have the sequel trilogy, but you also have Resistance in there too. So so many things to watch as Star Wars fans, but definitely when going back through the prequels, Obi-Wan Kenobi is definitely one that you want to watch again.
Actually, it was funny because like I want to like watch episode 2 and episode 3 and then like straight into Kenobi. Like I think in
Hmm.
future prequel viewings, I'm just gonna skip Phantom Menace and go straight into 2, 3 Kenobi. Like that's the new prequel trilogy.
I mean, it makes sense. It makes a
Yeah.
lot of sense.
And I love certain aspects of Phantom Menace,
Hmm.
but I think I can skip it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. There's parts of the Phantom Menace that I absolutely love.
Yep. The mall fights,
Yeah.
Amidala, Amidala's wardrobe.
Yeah, yeah, there's a lot in there to dissect. So let's see here. Let's get to a couple of announcements here. We're working on our next RPG session. I have no clue when it's going to be yet, because one of our players is going on a tour to Japan.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
how
cool
dare
though.
she? I mean, yeah, it's really awesome.
Wait,
Um,
who's going to Japan? How did I miss this?
Kaylin, D. Capella's going to
Oh,
Japan.
that's
Yeah,
right. Yep.
yeah. So I mean, but we wish her and D. Capella all the best when it comes to that. Um, we just hope that it's an amazing tour for them. Um,
I didn't even realize she was part of Decapella at first,
mhm.
and then I realized I'm like, I have so many playlists that probably have her voice on them.
Yeah, yeah. I was actually listening to the official Disney playlist on Spotify earlier, and a couple of D. Capella songs like popped up on it, and I was
Oh
like,
yeah, always.
and then like I heard her voice, and I was like, that's one of my friends.
Yeah.
Um, so there's that. No show for August 13th. However, the night before, I revamped my personal Twitch channel to make it a Starlight Beacon Transmissions Twitch channel.
I saw that.
Yes, so we are going to be going live on Twitch from Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party on August 12th, and I'm going to try
What?
to do it a little bit on August 13th at Glow Nights. However, remember, technology and water does not mix that well.
Technology and water does not mix.
Yeah,
Nope.
so you'll be seeing the befores and afters from the water fest, I guess you could say. So there is that. Do you have any announcements?
I don't. That's
No?
crazy.
I
Yeah, I don't have
know.
anything. Well, oh, I won't be here next week,
Ah,
because it is my daughter's birthday,
that's
and there's
awesome.
gonna be a house full of teenage girls. So
Ooh, tweenage girls.
yeah, there's
Ooh,
gonna be lots of festivities, and I will be
yeah.
supervising all of it.
Well, just don't go Percy DeRollo on any of them, okay?
My God, no,
Too soon? Too
nope,
soon?
nope, we're good.
Okay, okay.
They'll just yeah, yeah, no.
Nah, but that's okay because Ira from last week is actually going to be joining me next week.
Yay. So
Um,
she'll fill the void that I'm leaving.
Nobody can fill the void that you leave. I'm just saying that
It's true. Thank
because
you.
you're the best. You're the best. Yeah, yeah. I couldn't do this without you.
No. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah. It's the butter up lavender hour.
it is.
Yeah.
Yep. You can see I take compliments so well.
So there's that. But Ira is actually going to be joining us as our third host
Yay.
starting next week. So you're going to have three chairs with you, um, or three chairs that you'll see. Yeah, I'll shut up now. Um, shall we get to the news?
Let's get to the news.
Okay. Should we do the Star Wars news first, or should we do the other news first?
Uh, I don't know. I'm good with either. I'm good with
Okay.
either.
All
Whatever you
right.
want to do.
All right. So I'll just run through these, and I would love to hear your opinions on these. Um, Also, folks, tonight, before we get going on the news, I know it's been rough lately. It's been rough mentally, emotionally, all that stuff.
We're laughing to keep from crying
Yes, we
for the
are
most
laughing to
part.
keep from crying. But I just want you all, if you're stressed out, if you are just uncertain right now and you're watching this, just take a deep breath, let it out.
Let it go.
Yeah, be like Elsa and just let it go for 2 hours, people. Because guess what? We're here for you, and we just want to entertain you for a little bit tonight. And if we can do that, we've done our jobs. So, and Lavender, I'm here for you. I got you.
Thank
Pickle
you.
says he's got you, even
Yay,
though he
pickles.
drives me crazy.
We
Uh-oh.
still have cats living in two separate rooms of the house, so
Ooh,
yeah.
that's rough. That's rough. Um, all right, so let's get into some Star Wars news here. All right, so the first thing is we have a preview of Halcyon Legacy number 4.
I
If
almost forgot this one was still going on.
so did I. With everything going on in the world right now, like I forgot like Halcyon Legacy is still a thing.
Can I
Um,
just say I like subscribed to it on Amazon or Comixology or whatever, and like
yeah.
so I have all of them, and I think I've only even remembered to read like the first two,
hmm
and I don't know, they're fun, but they feel a little gimmicky.
They they do. I think like out of the Halcyon things, like this one feels like the most like a plug. Um, Whereas like Princess and the Scoundrel feels like it's going to be like a natural story that
A
involves.
story featuring the Halcyon
Yeah.
versus the Halcyon as your set piece, and
hmm
characters just happen to be on it.
Now, I will tell you this. I am very excited for this issue.
Oh yeah, it's got Hondo and Maz
And Lando.
and Lando.
Yes. So, I am ready for this issue.
I
Uh
love that this is like a mashup of Lando in the artwork. Like it's like the Donald Glover costume, but it still looks like Billy D. Williams.
yes, I love it so much. And I love Hondo on the cover there too.
Hmm.
Halcyon Legacy number 4. This is written by Ethan Sachs. It features Maz Kanata, Lando, and Hondo on the Halcyon trying to retrieve an artifact. This is set during the Galactic Civil War, and it looks like there's some sabacc involved with some Imperial
This
officers.
this makes three eras that we have seen Maz in now,
Mm-hmm.
because we've seen her High Republic sequel trilogy and OT.
Yeah, and I just got to say, this one looks like it's going to be the most fun out of all of these, and it's Hondo and Lando and Maz.
Hijinks.
Yeah.
I am
Um.
just scrolling through it and there are hijinks galore.
Oh yeah. And honestly, if there's any comic relief that you need, Hondo and Lando are your dudes to do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the comedic duo that we didn't know that we needed, but we really did.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I would watch a buddy cop movie with those two.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
They're
Just
both bad cop though.
oh yeah. And they argue about it. But
Yep.
of course Hondo would win
Yes.
because he's the more articulate person out of the two.
I I don't know. I don't know. I think Lando pulls off the I think I'm in charge
hmm
thing better than Hondo. I think he'd get it.
Yeah. Hondo's got like the articulation while Lando has the charm. Yeah.
Yep. Like they're
Yeah.
both trying to see who would roll a higher deception.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And if it was an RPG, they'd both be bards.
Yes. And then in would come Maz Kanata to be like, okay, both of you sit down.
Yeah, yeah. Mom's got this.
I've got this.
Yeah,
Mama Maz.
Mama Maz.
That's her new
Well,
name.
technically, she was a mama to court.
Oh yeah, she was.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I can't
So
even think about court.
I can't either. I'm sorry.
Can't
I didn't mean to
can't do
bring it
it.
up.
It's okay.
I didn't
I'm
mean.
really wanting to do a High Republic reread, and like every time I
Mhm.
think about it, I'm like, but then I have to get to Fallen Star and Missing Presumed Dead for how many people?
I I'm like a quarter of the way through Light of the Jedi for my reread, and it's like as much as I love that book, it's so tough to reread. Go ahead.
It is. It's all over the place. That just
Mhm.
reminded me though that there was the behind the scenes Obi-Wan set video that came out
Mhm.
with Christina Ariel, who has introduced Ewan McGregor to the world of the High Republic by gifting him a copy of Light of the Jedi and just
Yeah.
yeah,
Um and for Ewan McGregor to know who Stellan Gios is, like that is
right?
amazing.
Yes. And Belle. Yeah.
Yes. And you know what? I think like Ewan has that type of personality where I think like once he gets into that book, like he's not gonna want to put it down.
No, he's going to be a High Republic stan with the rest of us.
Oh, he is. And you know what? Bring him back to play Stellan Geos. That's fine.
No, no, Ben Barnes is still our
Oh yeah,
Stellan.
Ben
Yep.
Barnes would be a good Stellan Geos. Yeah,
He, perfect.
yeah. Um. So yeah, Halcyon Legacy number 4.
High Republic derail for the win.
Well, not really, because Halcyon Legacy number 1 did take place during the High Republic, and Buryaga was in it. So
It's another one.
I know. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. All my favorite characters are dead. It's fine.
Well, hopefully not Buryaga.
Missing, presumed dead.
Yeah, yeah. There we go. So, did you know that there's a little convention going on next year in London in April called Star Wars Celebration Europe?
Hadn't even heard of it.
No?
Nope.
Well, apparently there's conventions for this movie series about space wizards that we all know and love.
I think they just had one in like Anaheim, like
Yeah,
recently.
but
Yeah.
nobody went.
But nobody went because it
Yeah.
wasn't cool at all.
No. No, no. Because Star Wars is dead.
Star Wars is so dumb. No,
And
no one likes Star Wars.
it's dumb and it's dead according to other people. Yeah, and it's not for girls at all either.
Definitely
No,
not.
no.
Nope.
Um, so
Meanwhile, like all the pictures I saw from Celebration were like girls with like cute outfits. Like, look at my
I
Celebration
know.
outfit. And I was just like, oh, you're so adorable.
Yeah, all of the cosplay photos that I saw were mostly women, which
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that. Like I was super happy to see that.
Like
Um,
all of these super creative costumes
yeah.
from people. And then like every guy was like Anakin and Obi-Wan. Anakin,
Oh,
Obi-Wan.
I
It's like
know.
copy paste.
Or how many freaking Boba Fett's were there?
But
Or
yeah, it was like if you could pull off looking like Obi-Wan or Anakin, that's what they were doing. And if not, they were in Mandalorian armor.
yeah,
Not
exactly.
to
Like
say that those cosplays weren't also fantastic. They were.
no,
I just saw so many repeat character costumes.
that was like a few years ago, like when everybody cosplayed as like Han Solo.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like everybody was Han Solo. And it's
Yep.
like, okay, he's my favorite character in all of Star Wars, but I do not need to see all these Han Solos.
No. Or like before we got as many like strong female characters as we have, and it was
Hmm.
cool for people to dress up as like, you know, Bosk Leia. There was
Yeah,
like Comic Cons was just all Hut Slayer Leia.
yeah, yeah,
Like the white
exactly.
dress or Hut Slayer. Like that was it. It's like
And
now we have options.
no, Endor Leia is actually my favorite for those cosplays.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, Aubrey does an amazing Endor Leia.
I've seen it. It's really great.
Yeah. Um, Just like Maggie does a great Avar Chris for High Republic.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
so anyway, tickets went on sale for.
Kudos to Maggie though for doing that in the Florida heat.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, I'll get to that here in a little bit, but tickets went on sale for Celebration Europe, and the Jedi Master package once again sold out in mere seconds, and that was £795. And
Yeah.
then I believe 4-day tickets for Celebration Europe were £149.
Something around there. It was like a few hundred US dollars basically.
Yeah, it
I
was
think
like
that translates to around like 300 for us. Um,
um I think it was like 236 like after taxes and everything.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Um
yeah, those sold out really fast, but there was still individual 4 day, like you could still buy it for each of the 4 days.
yeah.
I was like, that's so much more expensive that way.
But like a lot of people had to end up doing that.
Hmm. Yeah, I've
Like
seen a lot of talk on Twitter about it.
mhm. And I got to tell you like eventually we're going to go to Celebration. Like eventually we have to. Sorry, Pickle just ran through his little tunnel like super, super fast and then just like ran under the couch and then ran back under the tunnel. So,
Oh, pickle.
yeah, I'm sorry. It was just really, really funny. Um, anyway, like, we're going to go to Celebration at some point, and I know like we have to brace ourselves for this, but it was a little ridiculous to see like how people were trying to get these tickets.
It's honestly, I think it was worse than San Diego Comic Con
Hmm.
as far as the badge system,
Yeah.
which reminds me that I just received my SDCC badge in the mail the other day, but I'm not
Hmm.
actually able to go.
Mm.
Slow tear rolling down the face. But it means I will be able to do early ticketing for next year.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't have to wait for the pre-sale.
Well, that's good. That's a good thing. Um,
Yeah.
and and like that's another con that I want to go to just to say that I've been. But
Yeah,
like
for sure.
it's so hard to camp out for tickets for all of these things.
That one I managed to plan it out with some friends. We were like, okay, we're gonna try for badges, and if we
Hmm.
get them, awesome, we'll go. And if we don't, no worries.
Yeah,
And then we all managed to get badges, and we're like, holy crap, this is happening. Of course, this was in like November of 2019 that we were buying these tickets.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
this is the first actual like summer SDCC to happen since then. And we're all like, we have our group chat going like, oh look, my badge is here and I can't use it.
Oh, it's
Sad.
okay.
Because we're all librarians who work during the summer and can't actually take vacations now. So
Yeah,
yay.
and it's really tough to like camp out for these tickets, especially like if you're working too, because like if you're in the middle of something, you can't stop what you're doing to order celebration tickets. And
I somehow lucked out and managed to do it at work.
oh, nice, nice.
I was like, yeah, I was like, probably not going to end in my favor. And it did. And I was,
So, I just want to say congratulations to those of you that are actually going to be going to Celebration Europe. We have heard about the High Republic Hype House that is happening.
that's going
In
to be epic.
oh yeah, in which Tommy Stella says that he is going to order pizzas for every single High Republic Hype House in London for
Yes.
Celebration Europe. So I mean, if you're going, that's awesome. We can't wait to see all of the content that you put out, all of your pictures, all of your videos. I know we are going to be watching the live streams from that show as well. Um, I really hope that they stream it on Disney Plus
Oh, that would be really cool. Yeah. Instead
because
of on YouTube.
yeah, because look how well Harmonious did
Yes. Yep.
on Disney Plus. Like that did really well.
Because
Uh,
they've done it twice now, I think. Or was it just the once
I think it was
with a
just the
repeat?
once with the repeat. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was, I mean, they did it really, really well. Um, I may or may not have cried a couple of times watching that.
Dude, I cannot watch Disney like fireworks spectacular type shows without bawling my eyes out. I'm really sad that Illuminations is gone,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know, Illuminations started up like the first time that I had been there after my grandpa had passed away.
Mm,
So like I remembered seeing like the old Epcot fireworks show with him, and
yeah.
then I saw that one like a few years later, and I was like, every time I saw it, I was thinking about like, like I wish I could have watched this with my grandpa. Like I always got hit with that same feeling
Yeah.
every time I watched it, and now I'm like, I'm kind of I'm glad there's something new now.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. And I can't wait to see it in person next year. Like I really can't wait. It's going to be so good. But here's hoping that they stream Celebration Europe next year on Disney Plus. Then StarWars.com gave us a recipe for the black melon milk from the Book of Boba Fett.
I have
Let,
to share my disappointment with this recipe after
yeah.
you read what's in it.
Okay, so you have the Gardifi sticks, two chocolate candies unwrapped, and a chocolate dipped pretzel stick. Those are pretty cool though.
Cool,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, for the black melon milk, For the boba, simple syrup, 1 cup water, half a cup brown sugar, half a cup granulated sugar. For the boba, 2.5 cups water, 1/4 cup boba pearls. For the milk, 1 cup oat milk, 1 tablespoon ground black sesame seeds plus more for garnish. 1 tablespoon sugar, quarter teaspoon vanilla, ice for serving, and whipped cream for serving. Go ahead, tell me about this.
Okay, so there's no melon in it.
No.
I was like reading through the ingredients. I read through it like 3 or 4 times, and I'm like, I'm missing where this has melon in it because like I don't know, it's black melon milk. It seems like it should have some kind of fruity melony flavor to it. This just seems like a syrupy like melted milkshake.
Yeah.
I mean,
Uh,
it probably is going to taste fine, but it's still weird.
yeah, and it looks like a melted frosty,
Yeah.
and not like a
Yeah.
good melted frosty from Wendy's.
Like, okay, I think it will probably taste fine. I will
Yeah.
probably try this recipe,
Hmm.
but like, I can't really see that like being a refreshing beverage. It looks so heavy.
It, it does. And to quote Ron Burgundy, milk was a bad choice.
Yes. Well, at least it's oat milk, so it's non-dairy. Won't
Yeah,
curdle. But
but
I
yeah,
just love the little subtitle here. Making this drink is as easy as riding a bantha. I'm like, no, it's not. You have
like
to
a
make simple,
panther.
but you have to like make the boba, make the simple syrup.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of steps here. That's like one of those like 4 ingredient recipes, but like they have to like make each of the ingredients.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
this is not an easy
exactly.
drink. And then you have to make your gaffy stick garnishes as well.
But I'm okay with the
So
gaffy stick garnishes.
they look cool.
Yeah, because I'm telling you right now, I'd eat those just by themselves.
Yeah, it's just like a Hershey's Kiss on
Hmm.
top of a Pucky.
Yeah, but like even then, like if you were gonna use like some sort of like fruity milk, you could have gone
Mhm.
with like coconut milk or something.
Okay, I think coconut milk would probably be a lot better and more refreshing than oat
Yeah,
milk.
yeah.
I'm
So
gonna keep
there,
that in mind. I want to try these.
yeah. So there's that. Like if you want to make black black milk milk or whatever it is, um,
Yeah,
yeah.
black melon milk.
um,
Are they gonna start serving this at Oga's?
oh, I hope not. I really hope not. I would not drink that at Oga's.
I would not either. I mean, maybe with some rum in it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. With some rum in it, absolutely. Because the only way I'm drinking that at
Except
Oga's,
there's alcohol.
oh yeah,
I
and
don't think I've ever actually bought a non-alcoholic drink at Oga's. Like if I'm gonna go and spend money there, it's gonna have booze in it.
try the Jamba Juice. That's not alcoholic, but it's really good.
I did try that because one of the kids got it.
Yeah, yeah. It's good. It's really good.
Hmm.
But yeah, like if I'm gonna drink that, it's got to be like heavy-handed with alcohol at Oga's because I'll tell you right now, you know, those drinks be strong.
They're very strong, and
Yeah.
they don't taste very strong, and they sneak up on you.
Oh,
Like I got the Jedi mind trick last time that we went there, and I was like, two of those would put me on my butt.
and that's why there's a true two drink maximum at Oga's Cantina.
Exactly.
Yeah. So let's move on here to another DIY. We have, hey, Farm Boy, how's it going? DIY, we have, you can make your own Lola.
Lola.
Everyone's favorite new droid from the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Do you want to talk about this one? Because I would love to have you talk about this one.
I do. Okay, so
It's
these are
craft.
definitely it's a craft. It's so cute. These are the kind of crafts that I love to do with library kids and
Hmm.
for like I have already I bookmarked this on my work computer. I was like, I'm saving this for May the 4th next year. We're
Yes.
gonna make Lola's as our craft because I'm frankly sick of making BB-8 and Grogu stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, Lola is gonna replace our BB-8s and Grogu's next year. Um, it's definitely a nice, easy one. Um, the steps that they walk through are they're perfect.
Hmm.
Like they painted it. I think you could easily do it with whatchamacallit, like colored pencil or crayon as well too for kids who might not be ready for painting.
Yeah, or like a
Um,
Sharpie.
Sharpie as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't want to give a kid a paintbrush because they're going to make a mess with it, you also don't want to give them a Sharpie
Yeah, that's true. That is
because
true.
at least the paint will wash off. The Sharpie, not so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's adorable. It was put together by Kelly Knox, and she's just so cute. I want to make one now. I think I'm gonna make one as like a sample at work and just kind of keep it around until May 4th next year.
Yeah, no, that's really awesome. I think it's fantastic and just what a great activity, especially for families.
Oh, and I didn't even mention it's made out of paper plates.
Yeah.
Like paper plates, you need a push pin or a pencil to like poke a hole. Um,
Hmm.
just some paper, some paint, school glue, just like your basic Elmer's. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's all really basic stuff that most people would have around anyways. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's really really simple, really cool and just something really fun to do as a family, fun to do with maybe your significant other that's like now a big Star Wars fan. Um,
doesn't mind doing fun, silly crafts.
exactly, exactly. Farm Boy, hey, Quiet Night. Farm Boy says, do either of us have the Galaxy's Edge cookbook? I do not. I want to pick it up. Lavender, do you?
I do have it, and I have made a ton of stuff out of it, actually. I bought it right as the pandemic was starting, and I knew that
Hmm.
we were going to be blocked out of Disney for who knew how long.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna miss my Docking Bay 7 food.
Hmm.
So we made the Nerf kebabs, the the Felucian garden spread,
Nice.
what's the other? Oh, the shrimp, the ob shrimp noodle salad.
Oh yeah.
That was really good. I made that, like, with, like, really fresh stuff, and, like,
Mm.
I, like, meal prepped it for, like, a week of work lunches.
Nice.
It was so good. It was like you eat Disney every day.
Nice. I want to get it because I want to make homemade Ronto wraps too.
Mhm. Although I will say the Ronto wrap recipe in there is slightly different from the way that they do it in the parks.
Okay.
So, like, follow the recipe for, like, the slaw and the sauce and everything, but then
Hmm.
you can kinda substitute how you do the sausage and everything with
Yeah.
how it should be.
Okay. Cool.
Yep.
Cool. 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 Yeah.
Mm.
So definitely worth the pickup. I need to get that book, and I need to get the Life Day cookbook too.
That one I still don't have, and yeah, that one looks really cool. I'll probably try to pick that up this year so we can do a Life Day celebration.
We're doing Life
Uh,
Day this year.
So, I don't know. As an American, I just kind of feel weird about Thanksgiving. Like the older I get and the more I know about American history.
Hmm.
So I'm like, maybe we just replace it and do Life Day at the same time.
I mean, I'm all for replacing Thanksgiving and making it Life Day. Like
Yep,
seriously, I am
go for
because
it.
honestly,
I'd rather celebrate a fictional holiday.
yeah, and this might catch me some flack, but I don't care. Um, Thanksgiving's just another way to just get drunk and watch sports on TV,
Yep.
and but I can do that on the weekends when I'm off.
So instead, you get drunk and eat good food and just watch Star Wars on repeat or the holiday special. Watch the holiday special as a drinking game instead of football.
Well, there's that, and then you
There's
can
that.
top it off with the Lego holiday special too.
Yes, double
Yes.
header. Now
Yeah.
that we have both of them.
Yes. Yeah, you know what? That's it. Thanksgiving's canceled this year. It's
Mm-hmm.
now Life Day. The entire month of November.
Farboy
Uh,
says Life Day cookbook is recommended.
yes. Agreed with Eric. Tea Day. Eh.
Eh, yeah,
Yeah. Um, but yeah, so we are, yeah, so that's it. November's now just all Life Day. Every day.
yeah.
Every day, Life Day. I mean, if you're cool with that.
I'm good with that.
Yeah. Now I got to pitch it to the rest of Palp's peeps, but I'm pretty sure most of them will be happy with it too. Life Day all the way. Yes. Um.
Nice.
So you and I are big fans of Disney parks and just the Disney experience altogether.
Experience.
Yes, I mean there is something magical about just being just at Disney, whether it be the parks or just a traveling Disney experience like Disney on Ice or what have you. Disney Parks just launched their Disney Parks. Disney Cruise Line just launched their newest cruise ship, the Disney Wish.
It's
That
so pretty.
oh, it's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. This thing has like some 1,200 staterooms in it.
Like,
It's a big, she big.
yes.
Yeah.
I think I want to say it's bigger than the Dream or the Fan because the Dream and the Fantasy are sister ships.
Yeah.
The Magic and the Wonder are fantasy, or Magic and Wonder are sister ships, and they're
Yeah.
smaller than the Dream and the Fantasy.
Yeah.
So I think Wish is the next step up.
Yeah. I think the Magic and the Wonder are the two smallest ships.
Yeah, because they were the two originals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which we're going on the Magic in October, which
Yay. I've
I'm
been on the
really
Wonder. It was so they're basically the same. There's like mild theming differences, but the inside of the ships are essentially the same.
yeah. That's what I've heard about both of them. Um,
Hmm.
but the Wish is just incredible. Um, it has it once again it has the three dining rooms that you rotate in and out of. Um, and the staterooms were gorgeous too. Like they showed like interior staterooms and of course like ones with like porthole views and ones that have the verandas and stuff. And then I saw the suite in the smokestack.
The concierge suite. Yeah,
Yeah, that's like 3 floors or like 2 floors or something. Uh,
those are insane. Those
yeah,
are tens of thousands of dollars to
yeah,
book.
yeah. But they're gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous, and just the so we are doing. Just want to answer Kauai Knight's question here real quick. So we are going out of New York. It's a 6 night cruise that does New England and Canada. And this is actually my first Disney cruise. I've never been on a Disney cruise before. And I'm really really excited. And it's a Halloween cruise too.
Halloween cruises are so freaking cool. We did
Like
the it was that was the we were on the Dream.
yeah.
Yeah. I've only been on the Dream. I haven't been on the Fantasy. But
Okay.
it was the Dream for a week with the Halloween theme,
Hmm.
and it was so much fun.
Now they did stuff every night.
Yes. Yeah, there
Halloween
was
stuff
like
every night.
different stuff because they have like a tree set up in the atrium that like
Yeah.
um there's like, spooky stories at the tree
Hmm.
every night, and there was like the trick or treating, and they did the Nightmare Before Christmas like sing along, and
Hmm.
like they had Jack and Sally like come out and meet everybody.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was so
Cool.
cool.
Yeah, I'm really really excited. So that's what we're doing. It's October 10th through the 16th. So
Don't forget a pirate costume.
pirate costume.
They do pirate nights.
That's right.
So yeah, there'll be a night where it's just like all
Yeah.
pirates themed.
Yes. And then there is a formal night too. So
Hmm.
like, which I love formal night. It's a lot of fun to do. Um,
It's like prom at sea.
it really is because then you can take like the ridiculous photos and stuff.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, so I'm excited about that. But the Wish, like the atrium is Cinderella themed, which is really really beautiful. And it has a golden statue of Cinderella in the atrium with Lucifer behind her.
I love Lucifer. He's my favorite Disney cat.
I'm partial to Mochi, but that's just
Oh,
me.
Mochi's a Pixar cat.
No,
Oh wait. Oh no, that's right. Big Hero 6 is not Pixar.
yeah,
Oh, man.
it's okay.
Look,
It's okay. I get them confused too. So, Pixar and Walt Disney Animation Studios sometimes. Yeah, just with the movies. But anyway, Sith says hi and he likes my beard. Oh, thanks. Um, I gotta get rid of this soon. Anyway, so the Disney Wish has launched, and so it's got all these restaurants. Which the one of the dining rooms is a frozen dining room, in which Elsa walks around and Anna and Kristoff walk around.
yep.
Which
Gonna
is
be amazing.
yeah, which is great, and I think they do a little show. And
Yeah.
then there's a Princess and the Frog one that's Tiana's place, I believe.
Yeah, which they originally did on the Wonder, and it was like
Hmm.
kind of just like a small one. So like the one that they put in the Wish is like pull out all the stops.
Yeah.
The f- the food there was so good. It's like kind of like a Cajun-y kind of food.
Nice.
Yeah, that was our first night on the Wonder. We ate at Tiana's place, and I was like, I want to go back there again.
So I guess the menu changes for each restaurant that you
Yeah,
go
because they
to.
each of your rotational dining restaurants has a different theme. So like
Okay, yeah.
they'll serve the same stuff each night of the cruise in each of those restaurants,
Hmm.
with the exception of like Pirate Night, all of the restaurants serve the same menu.
Okay. Yeah.
So, but that's like, like your fourth day or whatever, so it's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah. Um and then they have the Worlds of Marvel dining room,
It looks amazing.
which is beautiful by the way. Did you see the video that's
I
circling around?
of like from the previews.
Yeah,
I
of no, okay.
No, I've actually skipped most of the videos so far, which is saying something. I'm like, I just want to like see it when I go on it, but I also am like probably not going to go on it for like at least 2 years.
Yeah, we're actually planning on we're planning on maybe doing the Wish for our 5th year anniversary.
That's a
Um,
good reason to do it.
yeah, but so in the Marvel dining room, it's all Avengers themed and everything. There's a video that pops up on the wall that's Scott Lang and Hope Van Dyne, and they brought back Paul Rudd and Evangeline Lilly to play the characters.
Yes.
And so like they're talking about like the wonders of molecules or something like that. And then uh Scott says okay, I got to address the elephant in the room real quick, and that is a lot of you. I've been reading a lot of comments about you guys saying, "Well, why didn't I shrink down, go in there,
No, no.
and destroy Thanos?" And he said, first off, gross. Second off, it's pretty complicated. And then he's about to explain it, and then Hope cuts him off.
Like, nope, we're not going to go into all
Yeah.
those details.
So Scott Lang
Is well
has,
aware.
yeah, Scott Lang has been reading your Thanos theories.
That's incredible.
Yeah, that's all I got to say about that. Yeah, well,
I,
yeah, my
when
wife
did
just
you
said,
bring
"Does
that
that
up
really
before you're about
surprise
to
you?"
eat, too?
Oh, yeah, yeah, he would bring that up as you're about to eat.
Yep.
Um, and you know what? If Luis was there, he would try to bring it up too.
This is still one of my favorite
I
Marvel
love
characters.
I love Luis so much. Um, so let's get to the big thing here. Well, there's two big things on the Wish. There is the first water coaster at sea with Aquamouse, which I watched the ride POV for
Amazing.
that, and it looks great. It looks like so much fun. Think
It's like
Mickey.
the Aqueduct meets Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railroad.
Yeah, I was just about
Yeah.
to say that. Yeah. Um, and it's just really cool the way they set up the ride and everything. And it's like on a continuous loop too, so like the tubes just like keep going, which I think is really cool. So there's that, and that's really fun. Well, there's a Star Wars bar on board called the Hyperspace Lounge, and it's got some pricey cocktails like you would see at Oga's and on the Halcyon, but if you're sitting down or if you're standing up, people, you might want to sit down for this one because unless you've been living under a rock for the last what 3 days, there is a $5,000 drink in the Hyperspace Lounge.
Insane.
Yeah, and it comes in a Camtano, which is pretty cool.
But you don't get to keep the Cantono.
No, no, you don't.
And
Uh,
I love that it's functional. Like they press a button and it opens. It's just beautiful. It's a work of art.
yeah.
But for 5 grand, you should be able to keep the Cantono.
Oh, yeah. So I was looking it up, or like I saw it on Twitter, like somebody actually like found out like what everything's included with it. And it's some pretty expensive liquor
It is.
in the drink. Like you're talking like top shelf cognac and Grand Marnier and like a bunch of stuff, right?
Yeah.
So it's like pretty. It's top shelf stuff. To warrant 5 grand, not really, but you get a private escort off of the ship that deals with like some sort of Star Wars themed experience, which is pretty cool. And then you get a voucher to go to Skywalker Ranch in California.
I seriously thought that when people started talking about this, they were joking.
Yeah, I
That
did
it was
too.
like, oh yeah, like for 5 grand, they better like bring you to Skywalker Ranch. Like, oh, actually they will. So, I mean,
Yeah.
you still have to travel there, but
Yeah, the 5 grand does not include the plane ticket.
no, like you also have to get yourself to California after your cruise. And like, okay, Disney cruises are not cheap
No,
by any means. So you
no.
are shelling out money to go on this cruise.
Hmm.
I have a feeling that if you're gonna buy the $5,000 Kyber crystal cooler or whatever it is, you're probably staying in the concierge suite.
Either
Let's
that
face
or you
it.
have no limit on your credit card.
Also that. And then it's like, okay, now I've just gone on this crazy expensive vacation. now I have to fly to California to go to Skywalker Ranch to use the ticket that came with my $5,000 drink.
Yeah. Now, I'm wondering
A
if it's
lot.
like good for like a couple of years, like where they
Gosh,
give
I
you
hope
like
so.
a certain amount of time to use it instead of like you have 1 week to get to Skywalker Ranch.
It's gonna be like the plot of like an action movie.
It's fanboys all over again.
Like you spent all your money on your Disney cruise, but now you have a ticket to Skywalker Ranch. How are you gonna get there? Go.
Yeah, exactly. Um, but I will say this, and you and I were talking before the show started about this. I'm sorry, but if I'm gonna spend 5 grand on a Star Wars experience, I'm going on the Halcyon.
Right. You might as well.
Yeah, because at least with that, I get a day in the parks.
Like, I'm curious to know what this Star Wars experience that you get escorted off the ship for is like, because
Yeah,
I mean, realistically, you've just paid all of this money for a vacation. Like, I don't know. It seems so unfathomable that people are also going to drop an additional 5 grand to then take a day away from their cruise vacation.
yeah, and I'm sorry, but like if I'm like at Castaway K, like I want to just experience Castaway K. Like,
Oh yeah. It's already like you don't get that much time there to begin with.
yeah, it's like
Because
seven
it's just
hours.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's a fairly large island and
Hmm.
there's like, different areas you can go to. There's different excursions when you're on the island. Like I've been there twice and haven't seen the entire place.
Yeah.
So I never got to go to the adults only beach. Apparently they had steak. My parents are like, yeah, there was like a steak lunch out here. And I'm like, us hanging out with the kids,
Oh man.
eating chicken fingers and barbecue.
Just give me some jerk chicken and I'll be fine. Like,
Well, our last cruise that we went the 7 day because we did like a little one to the Bahamas and then
hmm
we did a long one the 7 day that was like the whole Eastern Caribbean and we went to Jamaica, got jerk chicken and like some curried goat, which I thought was going to be really gross, but it was amazing.
yeah.
Yeah. That's my husband and I were just like, okay, we're not going to do an excursion in Jamaica. We're just like going to go eat food.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing too, like, because you have to like plan your excursions too. So like, what is this experience? Like, I want to know what it is.
And then it's like, I wonder if it's only at like one port of call. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that if you buy the Kyber cooler, you probably just get off the ship at Cape Canaveral and they drive you to the Halcyon. That's
Ooh.
probably exactly what it is.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I think you might be right. Like the Halcyon experience is included.
Yeah.
Now, my question is it for one person or is it for the group that partook in the drink?
I would assume it's for the group, like
Yeah,
whoever's in that cabin.
yeah. Because like they give you multiple glasses.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think it's just going to be one person.
yeah. Because that would be that'd be a lot for one person.
Family of four, $20,000. My kids can't drink the liquor. That's fine.
It's okay, just feed them under the table.
Yeah.
But like the hyperspace lounge is pretty cool because like apparently the starscape changes every 7 minutes, so that's cool. There's one more Star Wars thing on board,
The
and that
cargo bay.
yes, it's Star
Sorry, I'm
Wars.
stealing all the thunder.
No, you're fine. I love it. That is the Star Wars cargo bay, which I thought that this was going to be a shop.
Nope.
No.
It's part of the like the way that they're doing their Oceaneers Club on the Wish is there's a big Star Wars area for the kids to hang out and experience different Star Wars themed activities. And
Hmm.
I'm sure they'll have the characters coming out and meeting with everybody.
Yep. And it's got an animatronic porg.
Yes. Yes. Oh my God, the Porg. They do already have something similar on the which one did I think I went on the Dream. Pretty
Yeah,
sure it
you
was
said
Dream.
you were on the dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that one had like it has like a Toy Story room, and then it has a Star Wars room and a Marvel room. And I was like
Yeah.
really mad that like the kids got to hang out there the whole time and I couldn't hang out there. And I'm like, I just want to stay in the Star Wars room like for the
Yeah.
whole trip.
Yeah. just
There was like
just
little like
bring me
games
my
that you could play. It was like clearly like an iPad like built into like a little container, but it
Yeah.
made it look like a control station.
Mm.
It was just so cool. And I got to meet Thor. Thor was so tall that his helmet was actually brushing the ceiling of the ship of the that deck.
Oh wow.
Because he was tall and then he had the pointy helmet on top
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Disney Wish has launched, and that's pretty cool. So let's get to one more Star Wars thing, and then there's two other news things to cover that aren't Star Wars related. Actually three, because I'm gonna insert one other thing here. Um, there's a hashtag going around that I saw today for a Star Wars animated series to come back. Make Resistance Season 3. Um, Star Wars Resistance is near and dear to both of our hearts. It's so good.
Yep.
Um, if you don't love Kazuda Ziona and the crew of the Colossus, there's something really wrong with you. Uh, Great show. Lavender, your thoughts on Resistance?
So I still have not seen all of Resistance. I've seen like the first half maybe of season one, but I really enjoyed it. The only reason I haven't finished it was because my kids weren't as into it and we
Yeah.
like just never made it through.
Hmm.
Um, but I can like keep trying to like get them to watch it again so that like I can watch it. But no, I was really surprised after season two that that was it. Like it didn't, I don't know, like Rebels and Clone Wars kind of just seemed to keep on going for a while. So I was sad about Resistance. And that's another thing too, is I wonder if part of the reason why I'm like hesitant to like get into it and finish it is because like I know there's only so much.
Yeah, it's. I'm 2 episodes away from the end, and like I'm still struggling to finish it because like I know that's it. Like after
Yeah.
those 2 episodes, that's it.
Yeah.
And I want it to continue because I'm so invested in these characters.
It's like they hit us with the Firefly treatment. I mean, I know
Yeah.
we got two seasons and not one, but still there
Hmm.
was potential there for it to keep going. And I mean, potentially they could have followed those characters after the sequel trilogy as well
Yeah.
with like the rebuilding of the Republic. So,
Yeah, they could definitely do it. Farm Boy says, "Love me some Star Wars Resistance, Star Wars animation with a look all its own." It really
style is
has,
so good.
yeah, it has this different style. It's kind of anime-esque,
Hmm.
which is different for Star Wars, and it's just it's a fun show to watch. And I mean, come on, we're getting Gorgs now at Galaxy's Edge because of this
I
show.
know. Gorgs are the new porgs.
Gorgs are the new porgs. That is correct.
But would Chewie eat them? That's the question.
I don't know. Would Chewie eat a Gorg? That is a good question.
Are they sentient?
I,
I don't
well,
know that much about them.
no, we don't know much about them, but Kaz had definitely had his fair share with them. Yeah. Um, but also, how can you not love CB-23, aka BB-8's girlfriend,
Hmm.
or Bucket, the astromech droid? Bucket is great. Bucket is like Chopper 2.0.
Yes.
He's no, but Bucket won't push you off a cliff. No, he won't. But he's just as sassy. He's just as sassy. So
He's sassy but not violent like Chopper.
no, 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 no. Um.
I'd like to see where Chopper is on an alignment chart. Chaotic evil,
Oh. Oh yeah.
but with a soft spot for Hera.
Yeah. Exactly. So or bring back Star Wars Resistance for a third season. Two things here. So Avatar 2 is coming out in December, and we see that Jake and oh, I'm blanking on her name now. Uh,
It's been a minute since I've watched these or
the
this.
Jake's love interest in Avatar.
I'm gonna Google it. Let's look it up.
Nakiri, Nateri. Yeah, Nateri. So they have kids.
Of course, I type in Avatar characters and it just brings up, Avatar
it
Last
brings
Airbender.
it brings up Last Airbender. So Jake and Natiri have the kids, and so their daughter is actually being played by Sigourney Weaver.
Which is really bizarre
Yeah,
because she was the doctor. She was
yeah,
Grace Augustine.
and she dead.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert for a 10-year-old movie.
Oh God, is it really that old? I really need to go back and
Oh,
rewatch.
oh yeah. My wife was just saying that because the Navi believe in reincarnation. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. But it's
So
still Sigourney Weaver playing a child.
yeah, which is weird.
Weird.
But I'm curious to see where they go with it.
I mean, I'm gonna watch it,
Yeah,
but I'm
me too.
like, I'm not into it. And like it's
Hmm.
weird because like I think I like the park at Animal Kingdom more than
Hmm.
I like have ever actually cared about the movies.
Yeah, I think the park feels a lot different.
It does. Yeah.
Um, it enhances the viewing experience for the first movie a lot,
Mhm.
but like the park in and of itself feels like on its own and different, like it has no connection to the movie.
So I'll say because like my kids have never seen Avatar. They have seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, but not Avatar
Okay.
Pandora. Because there was a lot of confusion there when we were like, yeah, like Avatar World, and they're like Last Airbender, and I was like, no, no, not it's not the same thing. um, but like so they haven't seen it, but they've experienced Pandora and enjoyed it, and they love the rides. Actually, the last time that we went was the first time that both of them were tall enough to go on Flight of Passage.
Nice.
Hey, cat, please don't puke on my desk. So yeah, now they've finally both been on like the big kid ride
Yeah.
and now they've been asking to watch the movie and I'm like, no. So I think we're gonna do a family, rewatch for me and dad and them seeing it for the first time.
Yeah.
But it was kind of scary. Like there's a lot of like like war violence
Yeah. Um, I think of it kind of like Dances with Wolves in space.
or like Pocahontas in space.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or both, yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of
Um,
colonialism happening.
yeah. Yeah, there really is. So that's the Avatar 2 news. Um, I gotta plug Ghostbusters for this next thing because why not? Um, Ghostbusters Afterlife is getting a sequel, as we know, and it actually has a release date. It's December of next year. It's December 20th of next year.
That's right,
Um,
2023 is next year. I don't know, I keep
yeah.
thinking we're already there.
And what I think is really interesting is that if Disney keeps this Star Wars movie slated, this is going up against Star Wars.
Mhm.
And I have a feeling because there is still a lot of burnout for Star Wars movies, Ghostbusters might win this box office battle. They're saying
I
it's supposed
I
to be
think it would be
Taika's
tough.
movie. Yeah,
With it being Taika's movie, I think that will fix the burnout.
yeah. I mean, I
Like,
trust
people will
Taika.
wanna see it just because it's Taika, and it's probably gonna be, like, really frickin' zany.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Jojo Rabbit in space.
I mean, this could be the funniest Star Wars movie we've ever gotten.
I really hope it is. He's been throwing out like so many like little like ridiculous comments about what the movie is going to be, and I'm just like, honestly, I'm here for it. Whatever he
Yeah.
decides to go with, I
The
will
late
watch it.
Yeah, the before we get back to Ghostbusters though, the latest thing that I heard from Taika was he wants to distance himself away from the Skywalker saga for this Star Wars movie. And
As he should.
I think it's absolutely brilliant to do it that. Like
Yeah,
if you want to set it in the unknown regions and make it about Chiss, go ahead and do that.
I would be so happy. I'd be
Because
so happy.
honestly, if there's somebody that's gonna do a Chiss movie, it's Taika.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
But
would be amazing.
Ghostbusters, Afterlife.
Ghostbusters.
This sequel is being codenamed Firehouse. It is in the final stages of its final draft, and it's going to take place in New York again at the Firehouse.
Yay.
Apparently, there's a post-credits sequence where the Ecto One actually pulls into the firehouse, and Winston comes into the firehouse as well to reestablish Ghostbusters, I guess, under Zedmore Industries, which I think is really cool. So, yes, Ghostbusters, if you've never watched Afterlife, you should. It's absolutely fantastic. No, it's fine. We'll do a movie night where we
I need
watch
to
it.
get on that. I still
Yeah.
haven't I haven't watched the 2016 Ghostbusters, which I want to because I
Hmm.
want to love it because I love Kate McKinnon.
Yeah.
Um, but there was just it was one of those ones where like there was so much negativity surrounding it
Hmm.
that like I couldn't even get into it.
So I will say
So,
this. The more I watch Ghostbusters 2016, the more I actually enjoy it.
mhm.
I will say Hemsworth is the worst part of the movie.
Which
Uh,
is surprising.
because he's so dumb. He is way too dumb in the movie.
I mean, Thor is basically Marvel's biggest himbo, so
I know, but
it's
Thor's a little bit smarter than Kevin, the
okay.
receptionist.
Then
And
the
my wife just said,
receptionist.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Thor's smarter and has a lot more qualities than Kevin the receptionist. I will say this, McKinnon steals the show in the movie.
Not
Um,
surprising at all.
she's great. Leslie Jones, who I have like a love-hate relationship on Saturday Night Live with, is
Mm,
fantastic as Patty. Even like Melissa McCarthy, who I have a love-hate relationship with too, is actually
mhm.
pretty funny in this movie. And then Kristen Wiig is great.
That's the yeah. So it's basically
Yes.
it's like a bunch of Saturday Night Live ladies
Hmm.
plus Melissa McCarthy, who has hosted like 4 or 5 times at this point. So
Yeah,
I think she got a 5-timer jacket.
with Paul Feig, who directed some of the best episodes of The Office,
Mhm.
directing it. Um, and it is funny, and like I said, the more I watch it, the more it grows on me.
He did Bridesmaids too, right?
He
I
did
think
Bridesmaids, and he did like the big stint of Melissa McCarthy movies, like Spy and like all that
Spy
stuff.
is hilarious. It's one of those
Hmm.
movies that I watched not expecting to like it at all. I was like, no, this is just gonna be too stupid. And I love it so much.
Yeah, that's Jude Law's in that, right?
Was it Jude Law? I think so.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I want to say Jason Statham was in it too.
Yeah. Statham is the one spy that like she's kind of in love with.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Such
But
such a good stupid movie.
it is. So I'm just gonna say, forget what the haters said, and just watch 2016 Ghostbusters. I think you'll really enjoy it. Um, yeah. Actually, that my wife just brought up a great point. Think of it as like an alternate universe movie.
Okay.
Where
That I can
yeah,
do.
yeah, because that way you can distance yourself from like the original property for it
Mhm.
and just think of it on its own. It has a great tribute to Harold Ramis in it.
That's right,
Um,
because he had just passed away right around that time, right?
he passed away the year before it
Before,
released.
okay.
Yeah. Um, and like they have I'll tell you, it's a bust of him in the library at one of the universities that they teach at. Uh,
Oh,
yeah. I will say this. I think the tribute to Ramus in Afterlife is 10 times better. Yeah, but it's a tribute from the whole cast.
okay.
Um, but it's brilliant. So watch them. I think you'll enjoy them. Um, we are living in a Ghostbusters renaissance, and that is super exciting. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, oh, last
Sorry, I
thing.
had to scoop up the cat.
No, you're fine. Um, I know you're a fan of the first two seasons of the Orville.
Yes.
And I know that you have not been watching this new season, correct?
I have not yet.
Okay.
I need to get on that. Actually, I need to schedule TV time.
Yeah.
My husband and I were just talking last night about like, oh, like what are all the TV shows that we need to watch? And I don't know how. Neither of us put the Orville on our watch list.
Um, I will say this: McFarlane is 5 for 5 so far this season. He
Nice.
has written these last two episodes that he wrote and directed are some of the best television I have ever watched.
I will say is really funny because I typically can't stand him.
Yeah.
And Orville is like the only hi. Orville is like the only thing that I have really, really enjoyed. Like Family Guy is fun, but like I can live
Yeah.
without it. But yeah,
Yeah.
I really enjoy Orville.
Yeah, this especially this season Mercer's kind of taken a step back a little bit in like a couple of the episodes.
Mm.
Ellie, when I say, hey Ellie, by the way, when I say 5 for 5, I mean him and the writing team have done 5 episodes so far this season, and they've all delivered. With these last two episodes, um, really delivering, especially on current issues too. Like I've watched the last two episodes, and I'm just like, holy crap, these came out at the perfect time. Um, the last episode, this week's episode, deals with Topa, and that's all I'm gonna say. But it's so well written and so good. Um, so that is going on right now. They had to scrap an episode this season due to the COVID shutdown. McFarlane wrote it as a book, and it's coming out in July.
That's awesome.
Yes, it's going to be a novella, so of course it's going to be about 100 to 150
Yeah, a little
pages.
shorter.
Yeah, but it's I can't wait, especially like because it's going to deal with part of the back half of this season.
That's really cool.
Yes, but this season has gotten a lot of praise so far, and a lot of people, including myself, are begging Disney and Hulu to renew it for at least another season. I think they will. I really think they will. Um, Disney has their answer to Star Trek right here with the
Yeah.
Orville, and it's very successful. Um,
And I will say too, have you been watching Strange New Worlds?
I am a few episodes behind on Strange New Worlds, but I love Strange New Worlds.
You have to let me know when you catch up.
I
But not
saw.
this week's episode, but the week before
Was
was
that the
like
LARP
their
one?
yes.
I
It was the best.
I want to watch the LARP one so bad.
I got so excited because Melissa Navia, she plays Erica Ortega's. Um
Mhm.
she got to be a knight and carry a sword and also like have a fictional thing with number one, Una. Um
Oh.
yeah, so I tweeted after I'd finished watching the episode, I was like, Star Trek released a happy pride.
Yeah.
And I tweeted that and Melissa Navia retweeted it and I was like,
Nice.
yes. So Yeah,
Nice. I
that
think
blew up
my
my mentions for a few days.
that's awesome. I think my favorite because like I saw like the character transformations into the costumes. My
Mhm.
my favorite is Ethan Peck as the sorcerer.
Oh my God, yes, he was fantastic. And like they all play it so straight too.
Oh, I'm
Like
sure.
they're not like their characters playing like they are the characters from this story. It's
That's awesome.
incredible.
That's awesome. Um, I gotta watch Strange New Worlds. I gotta catch up on it because to me, it's that and Lower Decks really recaptured my love of Star Trek.
I know there's one more episode of Strange New Worlds for this season, so
Yeah.
this week's was the penultimate. And then
hmm
I think it's like next month that Lower Decks is coming back.
Yes, Lower
I'm
Decks
stoked
comes
for
back
it.
next month, and I believe it's 12 episodes again.
Mhm.
Yeah. Which, if you have not watched Star Trek Lower Decks, you need to. It is,
Sorry, guys, this is a Star Trek podcast now.
and an Orville podcast and a Ghostbusters
All the
podcast.
sci-fi.
Yeah.
Oh, and I just started watching Arcane.
Okay, I gotta watch Arcane. T-Spans, who comes in and spams chat every once in a while, he watched it and loved it. And then John, you know John, he loved it too, and so did Joey.
Never
So
played League of Legends, but we started watching the first two episodes last night, and I was like, all right, this is pretty sweet.
so real quick with League of Legends, it's coming to Xbox Game Pass for PC in the winter
Yay!
time with
So
every
we should play.
yeah, with every single champion unlocked. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, so yeah, you know what? I mean, we're gonna get to Obi-Wan here in a little bit, but we're just talking. We're distracting people. We're having a good time. But I will say this about the Orville. It needs a fan convention. I think it does. I also
That would
really
be such a wild con.
it would be. How many Mocklins would you see running around?
Oh my God. Yes.
Um, but I just think of that episode where they had the rave on the ship and Bortus and Clyden are dancing. And Clyden and Bortus walk up to Ed and Gordon as they're sitting on the couch in the club. And Clyden's like, "This is glorious." and then,
It's so great because like it almost takes itself seriously
Mhm.
and then it doesn't. And it's just like the perfect blend of that.
Yeah, I will say this season has been a lot more serious
Okay.
because it's tackled a lot more. But I think you need it for this season. It still had some very funny moments, like like the 2 episodes ago for episode 4, they had it was Ed and the crew, and they're doing a historical bar crawl where they start in like ancient Greece and
Yes.
like go up to like the present day, and they were in the old west, and like they're drinking and they're in the old west attire and everything, and friggin' Isaac comes in wearing a cowboy hat, a belt with a holster and a pistol. He's got spurs on his shoes, and then he's wearing the biggest, fakest mustache. Yeah, yeah, he's pretty much
Picturing this,
McCree.
but with a robot face.
Yeah, yeah. Or I should say Cole Cassidy now. Sorry,
Yeah.
Cole Cassidy.
Well, this
Um,
was purchased when he was still McCurdy.
yeah, yeah. My wife just said he's still McCree.
I,
Yeah,
I get the reason for the name change. I support it, but I played too much Overwatch
yeah,
before it happened, and I
yeah.
can't. I
Um,
always slip up.
so yeah, he's got this big bushy mustache, and then like everybody just looks at him, and then that's when like Ed and Kelly get called away to talk to Halsey,
Mhm.
and then they
What are
they're
you
like
doing?
they're like it's a great day because Halsey didn't know that we were drunk. And then Halsey brings it up later in the episode. He's like, "I knew you were guys were drunk when I talked to you." So,
Yeah.
but I would love to see the Orville get a fan convention, especially if they can build on the universe and like um do like some spin-offs and some books and more comics and everything. So, that's all I'm going to say about that. Shall we move
Ellie,
into huh?
I just want to say Ellie still said still Matthew Mercer, and I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but like, there's no way that they didn't just base the model on him.
Oh no, they did. They did. They did. Um, shall we get to Obi-Wan?
We should get to Obi-Wan.
Yeah, because it's almost 9:30.
What
Sorry.
dude, what is she doing?
I don't know. I don't know what your cat's doing, but I'm asking the same question about Pickle.
She's like
He's playing
hanging
his
on my
stuff.
back, but her butt is flopping around.
Yeah, wow. That's fantastic.
She has no respect for my personal space whatsoever.
Lavender's cat's just like climbing all over, climbing on the back of their chair. So, anyway,
Oh,
um
you're coming back?
so we didn't I mean, we got to Kenobi and last week, and we were kind of all over the place with it because that finale was still fresh in our heads.
It was fresh, and being Americans kind of just took all the joy out of last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. You know what?
All the joy that Obi-Wan gave us, it was like sucked you right out.
Yeah, it was an hour of just pure joy that was ruined by six morons. Um.
Yeah.
Anyway, well,
Like I said, we're laughing to keep from crying. That's how
yes,
this works.
yes. Um. So anyway, it happened. It, I would love for you to share your thoughts, and then I'll weigh in.
Okay.
Okay.
Um, I'm going to focus on the finale.
Okay.
I think we did talk quite a bit about episode 5. And
We
also, if
we
I'm
did.
being fully honest, my memory of it's slipping a little bit. But number 6,
Okay.
holy Kenobi, that fight.
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, obviously, you're going into the series. You know that Obi-Wan survives to fight another day. You know that Leia survives, but you're still like the tension. I was just on the edge of my seat about what was going to happen to that cargo ship or the freighter that they were escaping in. And with Roken
Yeah.
being
With
like on
Roken.
edge
Yeah.
as he was, and like Obi-Wan asking him like, are we actually going to make it to to where we're going? And he's like, maybe. um like it felt, even though we knew that two of those people survived, it still felt like there was very real stakes for everybody else on that ship. um
Okay.
so yeah, I was very anxious. And then I love to see that plot of Obi-Wan taking Vader away, because he knew, he trained Anakin. He knew that Anakin would not be able to resist seeing him veer off, and knowing that that was Obi-Wan and having to follow him. And I just think that it was just, the whole setup was so beautiful.
Yeah. It really was because Anakin takes the bait. Like, and I'm not gonna say Vader because at that point that's
It's
Anakin
Anakin.
Skywalker taking the
Yep.
bait. Um. And it's like the tension on the ship. I love, and what you believe is Obi-Wan's last moments with Leia are really impactful and powerful,
Yes.
because Leia feels a sense of abandonment from Obi-Wan. Um, but Obi-Wan's like, no, I'm not abandoning you. Like, I'm trying
This
to
is the only
save.
way to keep you safe.
Exactly.
If he would
Um,
have stayed with that ship, it would have ruined their chances for survival,
we would have
because
had a,
Anakin would have just stayed on them.
yeah, we would have had another Last Jedi situation with the cruisers. Um,
Yep.
But I love that he entrusts Leia to Haja Estri.
Yes. Oh my God. We need more Haja. I
Yeah,
I love Kamal Nanjiani so much. He's that perfect blend between like he can do serious, but
yeah,
like with that funny edge to it. And it just like brings a lot of much needed levity to the Kenobi series.
yeah,
Like any scene that he was in, I was like, okay, I feel a little better right now.
yeah. And knowing that he survived, like the whole
Hmm.
thing too, is really nice. Um, let's before we get to the fight though, I gotta tell you, this is the most beautifully shot episode of the series.
It really was. The cinematography was on point.
Especially with like the claustrophobic look of like because there's a lot of close-ups in this episode, especially like when Vader and Obi-Wan hit the one planet
Mm.
and like you're just following the ship in and it's like closed up on the ship. I think it's brilliant.
And like there
Let's
was a lot of like because there's those rocky spires, and like so
yeah,
like the camera would be on one side of it and the ship would go to the other. And it was very visually interesting.
yeah.
I sound like
Lo-
a film major.
I
Visually
know.
interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's also edited beautifully.
Yes.
Like now I'm a film major too, so there we go. Um let's get to the penultimate fight between Obi-Wan and Vader. Um,
It was gorgeous. Like the lighting and the sabers and just like, oh my God, the way it's choreographed. I had chills. Like the whole fight.
I will also say this: Vader and Obi-Wan don't hold back in that fight.
No, they fight dirty.
They really really do.
Yeah,
Um,
it was awesome.
oh, it's so good, and there's so much destruction for this one little place too.
It actually, so the fight that it, I mean, obviously there's a lot of callbacks in this fight to the fight on Mustafar. Um, but I would say like of more modern Star Wars, the closest thing it reminded me of was Kylo and Rey on Starkiller Base
Yes,
when they're fighting with the trees and they have that like that element of like the scenery kind of like interacting
yeah,
with them slashing into the trees and stuff, like the same way with the rocks here.
yeah,
Saw a
I
lot of
agree.
parallels with the sequel trilogy in this fight actually.
Yeah, because there's also the one bit where Obi-Wan holds his saber like right in front of him, just the way Ben holds the saber right in front of him as Kylo Ren.
Yep.
Um, I mean this fight, it goes back and forth, and neither one of them has an edge on the other. And
No, they're like well matched.
yeah, um, but you can tell Obi-Wan's getting stronger as this fight's going on. Uh, Rocks are involved multiple times.
The Force is all about lifting rocks.
Really is. Do you want to talk about those two bits?
Yeah. Are we talking about Obi-Wan being buried?
We're talking about Obi-Wan being buried and then the one after it with Obi-Wan and the rocks.
Okay, yeah. Yes, I would love to. I was gonna say too, that's some more sequel trilogy parallel happening. Parallel. Go together. Like poetry, it rhymes.
Don't sleep on the sequel trilogy, folks.
Okay, so you have that moment where we think that Vader, and obviously we know that Vader doesn't win, but just him going completely unhinged and burying Obi-Wan beneath all those rocks, like the pillars that he's like tearing down and crashing around him. And it was like pure Anakin on Tatooine killing Tusken Raiders energy all over again.
Hmm.
Like the same ferocity that he had in that scene, he brought back there. And then just, I think we did mention this last week, but the way that he talks in that scene, like kind of leading up to it, the way he's talking to Obi-Wan, and you hear Darth Vader's voice, James Earl Jones, but the way
Hmm.
that the lines are delivered and like the cadence of his speech and everything sounds like Hayden.
Yeah,
Like, and I just, they did that so well.
yeah,
Obviously, he's a very highly esteemed actor and very talented man, but just the way that it was like he was doing his own impression of Anakin Skywalker, but with, the Vader voice. And it
yeah,
was very emotional.
yeah.
And then
No,
we get Obi-Wan all buried under the rocks. And it's like when we finally see him let go of Anakin, that he's able to fully tap into all of his force powers. And like, it's kind of like in Fallen Order, you have Cal who like has cut off his connection to the force. He's not
yeah.
strong, he hasn't been training in it. He's not familiar with it anymore.
Hmm.
And like he's got to like get over, or not necessarily get over, but like come to terms with some of his past trauma before he can fully realize those aspects of himself again. And with Obi-Wan having those like flashes of seeing Luke and Leia, he's like, I have to let go of trying to save Anakin because there's
Yeah,
something more important to save.
yeah.
And holy crap, lifting the rocks just like Ray on a crate,
Hmm.
which I don't think Vader was expecting in the slightest. He
Nope.
thought he'd find like best in him, but like, come on, man, Obi-Wan's tougher than that.
And then Obi-Wan just goes full on hinged on Vader using the
He does,
Force.
because that's him fighting Vader, not fighting Anakin. Like when Anakin tells him that Vader, that that what's the line he says, like that he's not his failure. Like I'm not your failure, Obi-Wan.
That's after the rocks.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He says, "I'm not your greatest failure,
Yeah.
Obi-Wan."
And that, Anakin is dead. Vader's killed him. Like Anakin doesn't exist anymore. It's like they're both coming to that terms with like he's a different person than who he parted ways with before Mustafar.
Yeah, and it's really interesting because like we talk about Vader a lot, but like in this series alone, you still have Anakin fighting the Vader personality
Mm,
in this series. Um,
yeah.
and it's really prevalent in their final conversation with each other before we get to their final fight in A New Hope. And this is after Obi-Wan pretty much cuts the mask open, and
Yeah.
which that makeup job was beautiful, by the way.
It was. I like too that like when you see his eye, like it's got almost like a skeletal look to it.
Yeah.
Like you can tell like he's still not fully healed from
Hmm.
the burns, which I mean
Yeah.
he's never fully healed from it, but still like he's
No.
like in that process still.
Yeah, and then to hear Hayden's voice, but then to hear Vader's voice, like after Hayden's line, it's really interesting because you're still seeing that duality there. And
Yeah.
it's not until the hatred just fully gets in there that Anakin's gone
Mhm.
at that point. Yeah,
And that moment where that hatred gets in there and he's telling that to Obi-Wan, 'cause, like there's the play of the lightsaber colors, the blue and the
yeah,
red on their faces throughout that whole scene.
yeah,
And then I feel like this was a probably an intentional callback to Force Awakens, that when he's telling him that Anakin is dead and he's Vader, that's when it goes completely red. Which the scene with Kylo Ren telling his father Han that your son is dead. He was weak and I killed him. And that's when the light goes red on him before he kills his father.
yeah. It was really interesting because when you see Hayden, when you see Anakin, the light on his face is blue,
Hmm.
and then you see it start to slowly go to purple, and then it goes to red, and then it's like, oh no, he's now Vader.
This is Vader. This is our big bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I thought
then
that was wonderfully played out, and I really, really enjoy the parallels with the sequel trilogy there.
oh, me too, me too. And then like Obi-Wan's final line to him saying that my friend is truly dead.
Yeah.
Um, that that just cemented it right there. And then he just walks away. He
Mhm.
he just
He
walks
could have killed
away.
him. He
He
could
could
have
have.
killed him.
And you know what? I don't think Obi-Wan would have regretted killing him at that point.
I don't think so either. Which, I
Um,
mean, kind of leads us to wonder why didn't he?
yeah,
But because then obviously episodes 4, 5, and 6, and 7, 8, 9 would be retconned,
yeah,
but still.
yeah, yeah. Vader would
No.
not be the big bad.
I think that was just him, he could have killed him, but he's showing that he knows that Vader is broken and defeated in that moment, and if
Yeah,
he comes back from that point of brokenness, Obi-Wan will still be ready for him later on.
yeah. Um, and and just seeing when Obi-Wan walks away and you see Vader sitting there. Yeah, he's breathing heavy because of the mask and everything, but he looks so broken and defeated at that moment
Yeah.
that that fuels his rage for their final fight.
Yeah. Yeah, so when he sees him again in episode 4, it's like, "All right, I'm I'm like, I'm not gonna let that happen again."
Yeah, and I would even say like that rage carries into the hallway scene in Rogue One too.
Fuels that anger going forward.
Yeah.
Like, he's already scary, but I feel like from the time of episode 3 until Obi-Wan Kenobi, he probably hasn't been seen too largely by, like, the galactic public.
Yeah, probably just briefly because like when they talk about Vader, they talk about him in hushed tones
Yeah.
and
But
kind of
then
like
later on, he
yeah.
becomes, like, this, like, boogeyman kind of figure that
Yeah.
everyone's afraid of.
Yeah.
Like, he builds up his reputation going forward.
Yeah, and I think that's you start to see that reputation build in episode 3 of Obi-Wan when he's going through the village and like snapping people's necks and stuff.
Yeah, I still haven't gone back to rewatch it and let the kids see it yet. A little I'm a little hesitant. It got dark.
It
And
did.
I always expected that of this series, but and I will say just kind of with current events in the world, especially right before Kenobi appeared with various school shootings. Honestly, I'm glad they put those content warnings on there because
Yeah.
I think if I didn't know it was coming, I would not have been okay. But I was able to like steady myself for it.
Yeah, I mean it I was able to steady myself too, but like the impact was still very much there.
Yeah.
Um especially the beginning of the first episode.
Yes. Yeah.
Um
Order 66 hits a lot harder in this decade than it did when like episode 3 and Clone Wars were
yeah.
revisiting or visiting it.
It really does between Fallen Order, The Bad Batch, and this. Like it really hits
Yeah.
hard. Um,
'Cause I will say, I mean, just to touch briefly on like, real world events, I think at the time that episode 3 came out, the only really big like incident involving kids had been Columbine. And now it's like kind of prevalent. Like it happens a lot more.
yeah, yeah. It's sad that this is the world that we live in.
Yeah.
Um, and it's sad that we have to have these warnings ahead of this, but I get why they do it, and
Yeah.
I don't fault them at all because I anything can bring up past trauma.
Hmm. I think
Uh,
my
yeah,
my biggest one that bothers me in media, and it's just violence against kids. And that's
I
me
agree.
as a parent and me as someone who works with children.
Hmm.
Like I think even if I didn't have kids, it would really get to me. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's that one. It's not
yeah.
great.
I mean,
Like seeing like I don't know, Ayla Sakura in Order 66 doesn't bother me the same way that seeing like Riva and her friends get attacked does.
yeah. Like, I'm an uncle, and so
Yep.
like it hits home for me too because like if something happened to my nephew, like I would be enraged about it.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, just like if I ever, when I meet your kids and like, kind of like develop a friendship, yeah, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
something happened to your
The Uncle
kids.
Eric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be enraged about that too. Like,
Yeah.
so it's one of those things where, yeah, violence against children definitely hits different and it hits harder. Um, I'm glad that those warnings were there. Um, I I don't know what else to say about that except it's tough.
I just wanted to add though, I'm glad that they were there
Yeah.
because it informed Riva's character so much.
Yeah.
Like, I think, I don't know. I'm sure we could have connected to her and her story just having known the background that we already did about Order 66, but actually seeing that moment for her made us connect with her as a character more.
Yeah. I totally agree. I think that the way they bridge the gap with her character is really well done, and we get that in episode 5. Like we pretty much called it from the first episode that she was one of those kids
Oh
from the
yeah.
beginning of the
Yeah, I
first
mean
episode. Yeah.
the way that they like focused on her her younger version in that opening scene, I was like, that's gonna be Riva.
Yeah.
That the little girl looks way too much like a young Moses Ingram for her to not be Riva.
Well, that and like when you see them with the master and like they're running through the hallway and everything, Riva's taking charge of the younglings after the master. Like she's leading them. Yeah.
I can't wait to know what happens with her. I want so much more from her character.
I've seen people talk about suggesting a Path series with her, Cal Kestis, and Quinlan Voss, which I think would be brilliant.
It would be.
Um, because now you can bring Cal Kestis in the live action.
I mean, weren't there just rumors about
Yeah, but remember, those rumors have been around since Fallen Order came out.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, I just put him in a live action thing, but also don't take the games away because I want more of those. I
Well,
want
yeah.
more Cal.
Yeah, we're getting Jedi Survivor, which I'm really excited for.
Same.
Um, but like the a Path series would be the opportunity. Well, I think it would be a great opportunity to bring Riva and Quinlan Voss together, especially with the way Riva struggled with the dark side and with the way Quinlan Voss struggled with the dark side too in Dark Disciple. Which read your
We're gonna have
books,
to do a dark.
kids.
We're gonna have to do a Dark Disciple episode.
Oh yeah,
That was
yeah.
that was a fantastic book. I
I
think I read that in like 2 days.
oh yeah, I couldn't put it down. I absolutely couldn't put it down. But yes, read your books, kids. That's all I'm gonna say. Especially Shadow of the Sith. Do not sleep on that one. I'm just gonna say that right now.
I don't
Uh,
know what my cat wants.
it's okay. I don't know what Pickle wants either.
She's just over here meowing so loud. I assume my microphone's picking it up.
No, I can't hear it.
Oh,
So
really?
you're good. Yeah. Um, the show still sits with me 2 weeks after the finale.
I have actually not rewatched it, but I'm
No.
like still like as we're discussing it, like I can see the scenes
Hmm.
in my mind's eye.
Yeah.
I just wanted touch on one of the things.
Yeah, sure.
Baru and
Mm-hmm. Reading
um,
is hard.
Owen.
Yeah.
Reading is hard.
Yes, reading
That's
is
what
hard.
audiobooks are for, Ellie.
Yeah, audible.com, 30-day trial.
Do we have a coupon code with Audible yet?
Oh, well,
we,
I'm going to get us a coupon code
we should.
With Audible.
We hype audiobooks. Also, if you don't want to go to audible.com, you can go to your local library and get you a Hoopla or a Libby subscription with your
Hmm.
library card. But
Yes, support your local library, folks.
just a funny aside, I was watching
Yeah.
Critical Role the other night, an older episode, but one of the actors is like we're still going to the library, and then he goes like, just aside, he's like libraries are great. If you don't use them, they'll disappear. And I was like, yes, thank you.
Yes. Um,
Please, pop culture, hype up libraries.
yes.
We need it so much.
So you were going to talk about Owen and Baru and how badass they were?
Oh, and Baru were so freaking badass, man.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that. The fact that we see Owen fall and like hurt his leg, which it's all connected to the fact that he limps later on in A New Hope. Like, uh,
Yeah.
that scene was brilliant.
And
Yay! Ellie says local library it is. Yes,
yes, there you
please.
go, Ellie.
They'll get
Plus,
you the hookup.
Ellie, I know that you're a fan of anime and manga, and you can find tons of anime and manga at your local library.
So much manga and hoopla.
Yes. Um, I will say this though, and I believe you tweeted about it. Um, Baru would have taken out the whole empire if she had the chance.
Hmm. I can't remember. Have you read Queen's Hope?
Yeah. I read Queen's Hope. Yeah.
That's right, because we did the episode on it.
Hmm.
Queen's Hope, when we're hearing about that backstory, like you know how there was those little interludes of
Yeah.
like there was a girl and blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. They were like my favorite
Blah blah
parts, but
blah.
still.
Yeah.
Um, no, the fact that there was interludes that featured Baru, and
Hmm.
that's how we see her like kind of coming through as like she's trying to free slaves on Tatooine, and
Hmm.
like she's not just a housewife, homebody type person like we
Yeah.
assume she is after seeing her pouring blue milk and making something out of fennel. Like that was my favorite fun fact about episode 4 for the longest time was that fennel was the only vegetable ever seen in the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, Baru like when Riva comes in there, Baru just starts taking pop shots.
Oh yeah. She is ready. She is trained. She knows what she's doing. And like
Yeah.
the fact that they don't tell Luke what's happening, but they still tell him what he needs to do to be safe. Like it's a Tusken
Hmm.
drill, basically.
Yeah.
They are ready to die for that child.
Hmm. And Owen has the best line where Riva's confronting Owen before Luke runs away, and Riva says, "You would die for something that's not yours," and Owen said, "He's just as much mine." Like
Yeah,
he literally says that, and him and Baru are just trying to be the parents that Luke needs,
yeah,
and like you can tell, like Owen clearly loves this kid.
yeah. Which
Yeah.
is which is funny because I think everyone has always kind of thought of Owen as being like kind of aloof and like
Hmm.
kind of kind of a jerk around
Yeah.
Luke, like the way that we see them interact in episode 4. But
Hmm.
it's I mean, you really think about it, and he's raising this child, young man at that point, who he just wants to keep safe. He wants to
Hmm.
from keep him from Vader,
Hmm.
keep him from becoming Vader,
Yeah.
essentially, because he's worried that that might happen,
Yeah.
especially when we see him talking to Obi-Wan about like, you trained his father, look how that turned out.
Yeah.
um, so like Owen and Beru, they just want this kid to stay a kid
Hmm.
and not go off and fight in some galactic war. Like
Yeah.
they're not ready to let him go
Yeah.
because they know what his name is and they know what he's connected to
Hmm.
and like what his destiny could be.
Yeah. And,
So
and I think that's really interesting because if you look at Luke and Leia, Owen and Beru, and of course Bale and I'm blanking on Bale's wife's name.
Freya.
Um, yeah,
Hmm.
like they want their kids just to be kids. Like they don't
Yep.
want them really involved in galactic politics. Leia's just like, I'm gonna do whatever I want.
Leia's like, I want in on this.
Yeah, I want in on this, and Bale and the Organas are just like, yeah, okay, that's fine, but like,
Yeah. She's too much like her mother.
yeah,
Um, and again, don't sleep on the books. Leia,
yeah,
Princess of Alderaan by Claudia Gray. They mention in that book that on Alderaan, in like their gardens, there's a statue of Padme Amidala,
hmm
and they tell her why there's a statue of her. They tell
hmm
her about her mother. They tell her like
yeah,
all of these things. And I kind of wonder if they did that post where we see them in Obi-Wan Kenobi, like,
hmm
she's getting a little bit older. Um, but
yeah,
yeah, so I love the fact that she grows up with Padme as this like role model figure to look up
hmm
to without ever realizing that it's her mother.
yeah, um, yeah, that's. I don't know what else to say about the show and this finale except they nailed it. And I said this last week. Filoni and Favreau couldn't have nailed this
I don't
ending.
think so.
No.
Mm-mm.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Filoni and I love Favreau, but
Yes.
Deborah Chow was the perfect person to helm this series.
Filoni and Favreau, they know Star Wars,
Yeah.
but it seems like she just knew Obi-Wan and like they weren't the people to connect this into the Skywalker saga.
Mm-mm.
So like, their own, not their own IP, but like their own stories, like Rebels and
Mm-hmm.
Mandalorian, Book of
Mm-hmm.
Boba Fett, like keep doing it, keep going.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. And this kind of goes back to like my feelings about like having Luke in Mando and Book of Boba
Mm-hmm.
Fett. Like I did enjoy it, but I also just feel like the Skywalker saga is kind of like sacred and should stay its own thing.
Yeah. You and I talked about this before. Like, I'm
Mhm.
on the same page. Like, I don't think Luke should have been in Mando and Book of Boba Fett.
No.
It was cool to
They
see
could have,
him.
and like, okay, don't get me wrong, the way that they did it in Mando season 2, where like, he just shows up for the finale
Mm-hmm.
basically and takes Grogu.
Yeah.
Like they could have left it at that, I guess. I don't
That's what
know.
it
I don't
should
think
have
we needed
been.
to see anything like just to make it like that little, he shows up, he makes an appearance,
Mm-hmm.
and then Grogu could have gone back off to Mando on his own, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, like it should have just been the one and done. It really should have just been the one and done.
mhm.
Because I mean, it really takes you out of the Boba Fett story seeing Luke Skywalker and Grogu.
It
Because
does.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, this is about Boba Fett. It's not about Luke training Grogu.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't need to see Ahsoka Tano either in the Book of Boba Fett.
I was very surprised about Ahsoka.
Yeah. But with Kenobi, like Deborah Chow gets Obi-Wan Kenobi. This staff, this team got Obi-Wan Kenobi. We're almost done here.
Okay.
So yeah, if you have not watched Obi-Wan Kenobi, do it. It's amazing. It's incredible.
It will leave
Uh,
you in tears
it
multiple times
will
throughout the series.
it will emotionally wreck you in the best ways.
I will say my biggest tears from the finale, the fight between Obi-Wan and Anakin when they're talking,
hmm
I was a wreck.
hmm
And then when uh, sorry, I totally just brain farted. When we have Obi-Wan talking to Leia and telling
Yeah.
her about her parents and her
Yeah.
gifts that she's received from both of them, and the fact that he frames everything that she got from Anakin as a gift rather than a curse
Yeah.
is mm,
Because he's honoring the
do it.
man.
Yes.
He's
Yeah.
honoring his brother. Um, I will say this: the parts where I teared up during the fight. I teared up during the part where he talks to Leia, and Leia makes him laugh too.
Yeah. I love
Um,
that.
Yes. And then Obi-Wan finally seeing Qui-Gon got me. Um,
I will say I didn't tear up there. I was just kind of like fist pump.
yeah. Oh, I was slamming the air with my fist. I was just like, let's go. But we called that too. Like we
Yes,
called Qui-Gon was going to be in the show somehow.
I knew it wasn't going to be just the voice.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
beautiful.
Um. So that's for Obi-Wan. As we wrap things up, one last announcement. We are about 10 months away from our May 4th meetup.
Eh,
Uh,
I'll have to
y-
bring Lola.
yes, yes,
My paper
you're,
plate Lola.
yes, that would be amazing. So if you are planning on it, we are going to be at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disney's Hollywood Studios at Disney World in Florida on May 4th of 2023. Plan your trips now because it's going to be an epic day. I mean, I tweeted about this this week where I said, we're just doing this so that John can ride Runaway Railway about 5 times in a row.
I
Um,
mean, I'll be there too. I love that
yeah.
ride so
Oh
much.
yeah, me too. Me too.
I miss
It's
Great Movie Ride, but
yeah,
I love Mickey and Minnie.
yeah. It was actually pretty. It's a pretty good replacement for the Great Movie Ride. Like it's actually a pretty good replacement. But yes, May 4th, it's happening. It's going to be wild. Blue milk will be drank. Ronto wraps will be eaten.
Blue
Um,
milk with or without added libations.
we're
Both.
gonna we're gonna do both. We're gonna do
Both.
both
Why
because
not both?
exactly. Why not Zoidberg? Because like I really want to try the spiked blue milk. Like I
It's good.
really want to try it. That's what
It's
I've
really
heard.
good. Yeah.
Um, we also have to do Smuggler's Run with Chewy mode.
I've still never done it in chewing mode.
Yeah, neither
I
have I.
I kind of don't want him to yell at me.
Yes. Yes, both of us are going, Ellie. Yes, we're both going.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
I live like an hour and a half away from Disney and I go there all the time, so I would definitely
Yeah.
not miss meetup day.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just going to be a great day for us to get drunk and celebrate Star Wars in the Florida heat.
Day drinking at Disney
Day drinking at Disney's the best.
really is.
It's expensive.
Well, okay, but like we said before, the drinks are strong,
Yeah.
and when you're day drinking in the Florida heat, it doesn't take that much to get you pretty drunk.
No, it'll take you about 2 in the Florida heat.
I don't remember if I mentioned this on the show or anything, but I did Food and Wine Festival with one of my friends this past year. We made it, so we started in Canada.
Hmm.
We didn't drink in Canada or England. We got to
Yeah.
France and had martinis. And
Ooh.
then like, yeah, the martini slush. And like
Hmm.
on the walk from France to Morocco, I'm like, are we drunk? Are we day drunk at Disney after one drink? The
Yes.
answer was yes.
Yes. Yeah. Food and wine, especially in those hotter months, it's rough.
It
Yeah.
was it was November and it was still hot.
Yeah. So, okay. So, real quick before we go. So, for who's going, right now it's confirmed it's going to be Lavender and myself. John says he's pretty much on board for it. Joey is still 50-50 on it. It'll be my wife. It'll be pretty much Lavender's family will be with us as well. I know Kaylin is pretty much coming. Katrina's pretty much coming. Greg, I still need to talk to. Ellie, I know that you definitely want to show up. I am also talking to, or I'm going to start talking to a few podcasters as well, other podcasters, because I think it would be fun to do a big podcast meetup on May 4th too.
I
Yes.
have I have a thought.
Yeah.
Uh Live RPG show in person?
I mean, we could try to do it. We could find
We're
a
all there.
space. We could find a space at Galaxy's Edge to do it. No,
Get a cantina table.
I was just about to say that we do it live from Oga's, but then we'd have to yell over the music.
We would.
Yeah. Um, but yes, so for the May 4th meetup, if you're a member of the, I know Maggie's coming too.
Yes.
Um,
Yep. Maggie's
so
another of our Florida
yes,
locals. So,
yes. Which hopefully in a few years I will be part of that Florida local too. But if you are planning on going and you have a significant other or a partner or whatever, they're welcome to come too. The more the merrier. Hopefully we can get like a group of 30 for Rise of the Resistance. That way, like we all get our own cars.
yep.
Um, so yes, we're gonna do that. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Hollywood Studios won't know what hit them, and that's why we're also taking the next day off
Yep.
because like we're gonna need to recover from that. So yes, May 4th, 2023. That's happening in 10 months. So book your trips now. All you need is $200 down to pay on your trip. That's it. Then you can pay on it. You have up until 30 days before you have to be on property. If you're staying on property, you have up to 30 days. Yes, Ellie, we will be locals very soon.
Ellie, are
Bec-
you going to come to Florida?
she and I are trying to convince our partners to move to Florida.
Do it. Do it.
Yes, do it. So
Yes. Pop
yes.
team meme.
Yes. So we have that to look forward to, especially since we can't go to celebration. So we're gonna have our own mini celebration that day. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So that's it for us this week. Next week, Lavender will not be here because she's going to be dealing with a bunch of teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
But
It'd be
Ira will
great.
be joining me, so that'll be a lot of fun. I'm going to try to get a few other guests on here, and we're just going to goof off and have a good time as we normally do. But thank you once again for everybody that showed up to talk Kenobi, to talk Ghostbusters, to talk everything.
Chat
Uh,
was fire tonight. I've got
yeah,
chat open.
yeah, chat was great tonight. Really good points and everything. All the usuals came in, but we had a few new faces tonight, so it was a lot of fun. Between last week and this week, we've had really good chat rooms lately. So
Yes, for
yeah.
sure.
So that's it for us this week. May the force be with you. May you always fight for light and life. And remember, at the end of the day, we are all the Republic. Have a wonderful week, everybody. We will see you next week. Bye.